Hello, welcome back for day 3 of Mr./Mrs. Cupid. I am so excited. I have not added my wings yet, so I'll show you that later, but I did harden them overnight. I hope you did too. And did you finish your toga? I saw several people post about it, which I'm very happy. I love how you guys did 2 pictures, like one where it's kind of like folded up, so you're like, look, Nikki, I added the pants. And then the other one where it was down, right, where you can actually see its beautiful toga. I feel like this version is cuter than the first version. I am so in love with this little guy. It is so darn cute. I hope you're enjoying Mr. and Mrs. Cupid, and really excited to finish today with this live crochet along. And remember, we have a big party tomorrow. Yes, we're going to celebrate finishing Cupid, but we're also going to give away prizes for those who don't finish Cupid or were never part of the live crochet along, meaning all crocheters are invited. So you better tell your crochet besties to come and join us, because it's going to be so much fun talking about how you can take your crochet skills to the next level with more live crochet alongs. How would you like that? You let me know. Okay, how's it going, everyone? Have you guys shared yet? Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment. I am so excited you're all here. So let's get right into it. Today we're going to focus on the baby hearts, the teeny tiny hearts, okay? We're also going to do the backpack right after, and then we're going to do the bow and arrow. So one or the other first. We'll see, maybe the arrow first, maybe the bow first. We'll see how I feel and how you guys doing. Do you guys have any questions whatsoever? You let me know. Leave them in the comments, because one of the perks of being here for the live crochet along is that you get answers instantly if you're here live. Now, of course, watching the replay is highly recommended if you're going through this Cupid, because that way you can pause, you can speed up, you can change the speed of how I talk, although it may sound a little weird, but you can change that, right? So are you guys ready to make teeny tiny hearts? I'm really excited to do this. So let's swoop around so you can see what I see. I'm using here number 2 yarn, but you're welcome to use worsted yarn if you like. I'm just going to use this yarn because that's what I initially used. I'm going to use pink here for this demonstration because red can be hard to see on camera, but I'm still going to attempt to use red for the backpack because it's a hard backpack, right? Might as well use red for that. Hopefully you can see that. I might have to adjust my brightness there a little bit, so we will figure it out as we go, right? So are you guys ready with the teeny tiny hearts? Okay. I have my pattern here in front of me so I can always reference it. I hope you sure have it too. You should hopefully have 2 of them in front of you, like the written instructions, and then you have the video tutorial with you at the same time. Hopefully you can do both at the same time. If you have the PDF or you're in the crochet club, you can easily print it out. For those on the free version, just have it there open. Let the ads be. It's fine. They're there, okay? They're not going to bother you. Literally, they don't. If you don't look at them, they don't bother you. They're just there. Pretend they're other pictures, okay? Because they allow us to have free content. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to make first a chain of 3 after we made a magic ring. So first a magic ring. Ooh, I pulled my yarn a little bit too far. Here, magic ring, pull it through, okay, just like we've done before. And by the way, you could make a chain of 4 and put everything in the first chain made, but I like my magic ring, so I'm going to go with that, okay? I'm going to have here 1 chain, 2, and 3 chains after the magic ring, so it looks like this, okay? And you're now going to place the 3 treble crochet stitches into the magic ring. So here would be 1, then 2, then 3, and now we're going to add 3 double crochet stitches. So let's do that. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now chain of 1, and now we're going to make a triple crochet stitch again. So here is a triple crochet stitch. So we're now halfway done on the little tiny heart. These are super fast to make. You can make them really big too. If you have like bigger yarn or something, they can be really big. Okay, now chain of 1. Now 3 double crochet stitches again. So 1, 2, and 3. Now 3 triple crochet stitches. So 1, whoops, I pulled that through too fast. 2 and 3. Triple crochet stitches take longer. All right, now chain of 2 or 3, whatever you like. I'm probably going to make here 3, just like I've done before, and then slip stitch into the magic ring like so. And now you're going to pull here your yarn end like so. Just pull, pull, pull until it closes up. So watch, I'm going to move this to the side here. I'm going to pull until it's closed. Okay, what I like to do is I'm going to pull my slip knot or slip stitch kind of thing. I'm going to put this back here a little bit, right? And once I pull this, I'm going to pull this through and pull this. Hang on, I'll show you. This slip knot tight here a little bit, and that kind of pushes that down here a little bit. Okay, so now you have that pushed down. You can make a knot here in the back, so pull everything so it's nice and tight. Okay, so here I'm gonna make a knot on the back like so. My tension is a little bit loose on this one. It's always looser when I crochet on camera. So my initial hearts are a little bit tinier, but here my tension is a little bit looser. So this is how it looks like. So you can see this is our cute little tiny heart. It's snowing over there. Oh my goodness. Are you using 3mm hook? Yes, I'm still using a 3mm hook. You can totally go down in hook size. Feel free to go down in hook size, okay? So what you now need to kind of decide, you don't have to decide immediately, but ideally today when you do the arrow, is are you going to glue on the arrow here in the back, or do you want to make some loops, okay, so that you can push the arrow in and you can swap out your hearts. Since I already have one version, I might do on this version a different version, meaning I'm going to glue it on, but I haven't decided yet. Rachel says that was too fast. Girl, you just check out the written instructions. Super easy. I'm going to tell you again, okay? You make a magic ring. You're going to make a chain of 3, 3 triple, 3 double, chain of 1, 1 triple. Then let's go backwards. Chain of 1, 3 double, 3 triple, chain of 3, slip stitch, close. That's it, okay? It's very straightforward. If you have the written instructions next to you, it makes a lot more sense. I promise you, okay? It doesn't take that long to do. It's like super duper quick, okay? So these are not hard, I promise you, okay? I'm gonna cut my yarn here, so I can decide later if I'm going to make my loops or not. So if you are making your loops, you're going to need a little bit extra. Okay. And so I'm going to put my tiny heart here over here on the side for now. So let's go into the backpack. Are we good? Is everyone good on the tiny hearts? Let me know. Where did my heart go? Here's my tiny heart. Let's put it over there. Everyone good? Diana says, I can't believe I just did it. Yay! I'm so happy. Okay, so I'm going to go right into the backpack. Okay, I'm going to move this to the side so I have my backpack instructions in front of me. How are y'all doing? Rachel, are you good? I want to check back with you here. I want to make sure you're okay. If I need to do it again, you let me know, but you can always watch the replay. Remember, you have the replay available. Are we good? Can I move on to the backpack? Please let me know. Good with the heart. I'm good. Okay, so everyone's good. Rachel, I would love for you to tell me if you're good too. But I'm going to attempt to start with the backpack. And trust me, that takes a hint longer than this tiny heart. But it's very straightforward. So you guys let me know. Hopefully you guys can see with this red yarn. Hopefully you can see it because cameras don't really like red yarn. But I'm going to make sure that you know exactly what I'm doing. Rachel says she's good. Okay, I'm glad. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, we're going to start with a magic ring, just like we just did. Okay, we're going to make a chain of 1, but it does not count as a stitch. Okay, we're now going to we're going to do it. We're going to make 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so 6 single crochets into the ring. I know red is very hard to see on camera, and I deeply apologize. Cameras don't like red. Do you know why? Because it's close to infrared, and infrared is hard to see with cameras. Okay, you're gonna need a special camera for that. Rachel says she appreciates for me taking the time to go back over. Of course, I'm not gonna let you hanging, girl. Okay, we're now going into round 2. You're going to need a stitch marker. You know I like to use my yarn end for that, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, we're going to do now 1 single crochet in the first stitch. So here's 1 single crochet. Then we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in the following. And now let's repeat that. So 1 and then 2. And then let's do it again. 1 and 2. Here we go. Okay, so that is round 2 already done very quickly. Now let's go into round 3. So the idea is now that we're creating a heart shape. So you're going to start it, it's going to start to turn into like a bowl shape first, and then we're going to obviously make it into a backpack. Okay, so we're now going to go into the next round. The next round is going to have 1 single crochet in 2 stitches. So here we go, 1, 2, and the following is going to have 2 single crochet stitches. Let's do it again. 1 and 2 single crochet stitches, and then an increase after that. Let's do it one more time. So the repeat is 3 times in a row, right? So 1, 1, and then 2. Okay, so 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Okay, so that is round 3. We have a few more increases to do, so we're going into the next round. We're going to do 1 single crochet in 3 stitches. And here's my little trick again, right? You can look where your increases are, which are right here. So you're going to place an increase on top of an increase. Okay, so right here would be the increase. I'll put another one on top. Let's do it again. 1 single crochet in 3 stitches. Whoop. Oh, my yarn. Come on out. Okay, then an increase. Sorry, I had to look for a second. Where was I? And let's do it again. 1 single crochet in 3 stitches, like so, and 2 single crochets in the following, which is an increase. Let's go into the next round. So we're going to keep increasing until we have 6 single crochets in a row. Okay, so this would be 4 now. So 1 single crochet in 4 stitches. So this is 3 and 4. Now we have an increase. Now we're doing it again. 1, 1, 1, and 1, and then 2. You can also count the other way, right? 1, 2, whoopsie daisy, 2, 3, and 4, and increase. Are we all good? I know it's very hard to see red on camera. Are we still good? Can you guys still follow along? I want to make sure I'm not super fast. And my yarn decided to have a little knot in here. So let's come out, little yarn. Okay, we're going into the next round. So we now have 5 single crochets in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then an increase. Cheryl says the red looks good. Really? It looks good? You guys can see? I was always worried. On my side, it's very hard to see. On my side, it almost looks like it can't focus. It looks like it's blurry. Is that, how is it looking like for you guys? I haven't checked on my end, like after the for replays. I should check out the replays. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then there's an increase. Vicky says it's fine. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and an increase. Now we have to do one more, okay? So we're going to go one single crochet in 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, whoop, 4, 5, and 6. So this is the last round of increases. Now an increase, and let's repeat that. 1 single crochet in 6 stitches. So this is here, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then an increase. Let's do it again. 1 single crochet in 6 stitches and an increase in the very last stitch. Here we go. So we're now done with our increases. So this is how it looks like so far. So far, it kind of reminds me of a strawberry. So I guess you could turn this into a strawberry if you wanted to. Let's see. Barbara finally got here. Yay! Blurry, but stitches are visible. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Jody's like, Barbara, what took you so long? That's hilarious. You guys are funny. Okay, we now have 3 rounds of just single crochet stitches. So let's do that, okay? So just single crochet stitches, 1 stitch per stitch, okay? Make sure you guys share the video if you haven't done so. I would appreciate it because we want to inspire others to also make either a Cupid or just a heart backpack or just a heart. Maybe they want a bow and arrow. It depends. I mean, everyone is different, right? Some people just like a certain part of this pattern. So maybe you can inspire them to join us. Plus, they probably want to know that we have a big party happening tomorrow. So with lots of prizes, so you better tell them because we're going to have so much fun. I am really excited for the next lives. So we're going to have lives for the next 5 days. Oh my gosh. And I'm going to teach you more stuff. Oh, I'm so excited. I came up with some new patterns and I'm super excited. Even my boys are liking them. So yes, get excited for those because I'm not only going to tell you how you can take your crochet skills to the next level, but I'm also going to teach you more stuff, okay? We're going to have 4 new patterns, well, partially new pattern. One of them is kind of already in existence, but the other ones are definitely new, at least new on my side. So I'm really, really excited for that. Barbara said, I was busy making wings. Girl, that's fine. That's perfect. She's like, I'm still working, you guys. I might have showed up late, but I'm still working on the doll. I am so glad you are. I am so glad. Okay, how many rounds did I just do? Let's double check. I did 2, so I have 1 more to go. 1 more to go. You could technically do another one or do 1 less. That's fine, but I'm going to follow my pattern. Ooh, look at this yarn mess. What's going on? Oh boy, this is ugly. Look what happened with my yarn. Oh boy, this is what happens. Yeah, this is loops and thread yarn for you. Happens sometimes. I think this is where the transition happened from one spool to another. Now I have this. Definitely this is going to be the back side where the yarn transitioned. Look at this. It's hanging off. Do you see that? Oh my gosh, that's messy. Well, it happens sometimes, right? You always have, sometimes you have a flaw in your yarn. It's okay. It happens. It's hard to see for companies that there's a flaw in the yarn, right? And it's very, very hard to figure out which one is a flaw. Think about it. Like, yes, they do quality control, but sometimes a skein is going to have multiple knots in it. Like, it just happens, right? There's no way for them to see it at the end. I could have never guessed this by looking from the outside of the yarn. You can't really look through it, right? Okay, so we're now going to go into the next round, and I need to move my paper so I can know exactly the stitches because I don't have that part memorized. Okay, So we're now going into the part that has the heart shapes, okay, the little bumps, okay. How big's the backpack? Well, look at my hand. So we're about to go into the bump part of it, so you can see it in the end. So this is how big it is so far. Hopefully I can tell you. My yarn does that. Yeah, it happens. It's okay. Okay, we're now going into round 11. So let's do this together. I'm going to look at my pattern to make sure I'm saying everything correctly. We're starting with 1 single crochet. Then the next stitch is going to be 2 double crochet stitches, like so. You don't understand how many times I ripped this one out when I designed this. Oh my gosh, I was trying to have it perfect. Hopefully it looks perfect for you guys. So we did 2 double crochets in the same stitch. We're now going to do 2 treble crochet stitches in the same stitch, like so. Now we have again 2 double crochet stitches in the same stitch. So far it looks like this, okay. We now are going to do 1 single crochet, no, excuse me, go back, 1 slip stitch in 3 stitches. So here's 1, 2, and 3, like so. And now we're going to do it again what we just did. So 2 double crochet stitches in the same stitch, like so. Then 2 treble crochet stitches in the same stitch, like so. And then 2 double crochet stitches again in the same stitch. Okay, now we have 3 slip stitches again. So there will be 1, 2, and 3. And we're now going to go into the next bump. So this is now the back side, front side, however you want to say it. Okay, this side is done now. So we're going to repeat this now on the other side. Okay, so after we did our 3 slip stitches, did I do my 3? Let me confirm. I did 1, 2, 3. Yes, I did. So the next one's going to be again 2 double crochet stitches in the same stitch, 2 treble crochet stitches in the next stitch, so 2 of them together. Then again, whoopsie daisy, 2, nope, that was 1 yarn over too much, 2 double crochet stitches in the following, like so, 1 slip stitch and another slip stitch. And now we're going to make a chain of 8. That is our little loop. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That is the loop we're going to need for the button that's going on the other side. Okay, now we're going to do 1 more slip stitch right here in the following. Here's my slip stitch. Ooh, I split my yarn. Hang on, go back, going back. I split my yarn. Did you guys see it? Darn it, happens sometimes. Okay, let's do that slip stitch again. Here we go. Slip stitch. Pull out my yarn so it doesn't split again, because it happens sometimes with slip stitches. Let's do this bump here one more time. So 2 double crochet stitches in the same stitch, 2 treble crochet stitches in the next stitch, or the same stitch, however you want to say it. And then again 2 doubles. There we go. And then we have 2 slip stitches left. I usually do 1 more extra just to, connect it to my first stitch. And then this is how it looks like. Okay, so you have your little loopy loop, and that loop is going to go over where the button is going to be. Okay, so you're going to add your button on your own. Hopefully you know how to add a button, right? So I'm going to cut my yarn over here. There we go. Cut my yarn. I'm going to pull this out. For now, I'm going to just tuck it in. I'm going to weave this in later. Okay, so pretend this is not there. So just gonna tuck in my yarn. I already wove it in. See? Magic! Okay, we're now going to add our back straps or backpack straps, however you want to say it. Okay, let's see. I'm missing some comments. You guys have great ideas. About what? About what? Let's see. I guess it would depend on the yarn and the hook. What size are you using? Let's see. My backpack is 3.5 inches. Let's see how big mine is. You guys want actual measurements from me? Okay, here we go. Mine is, this direction's about 3, roughly. And then this direction with the loop is 3.5. Okay? It also depends on your tension and stuff. So, but yeah, this is my dimensions. Hopefully that helps. Is that helpful? Hopefully it is. I also finished and mailed 2 of my gift pillows for my daughter. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Vicky says, let me just show off Vicky because I'm able to show it off right now. You can make this Cupid into the tooth fairy and use the backpack as a tooth fairy hole. Then you put money into... That is awesome. I love that idea. Oh my God, Vicky, fantastic idea. Turn a Cupid into a tooth fairy. Let's go. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, make Cupid into a tooth fairy. Mine as well, right? So this side is going to be where the button is going to be, which means the back side, wherever your loop is, that is where we're going to add our straps now. So let me show you. You're going to do an I-cord, okay? So have a longer yarn end. You're going to need a longer yarn end. Okay, and then you make your slip knot. How long? Well, depends on how long your backpack is. I make it longer than I need to. I'd rather have some yarn that I cut off than run out, right? And now I'm going to add, I'm loving this chat, seeing many ideas. Yes, Faith, I'm glad you're here. Okay, now per the instructions, it says you need to add onto, let me confirm that how I wrote it. I think I wrote down the outermost treble crochet stitch. So it would be 1 is here and 1 is here. Okay, you can do the other one too if you want. That's where we're going to attach our slip knot, and we're going to add an I-cord, and then we're going to sew it on the bottom, or you're going to sew it on. I'm just going to show you one of them, and then sewing, you know how to do it yourself. You just, sew it in here on the bottom. Okay, I'm just going to add it right here. Okay, so you want to add, make sure you know exactly which one is your yarn end. So this is my yarn end. Look how long it is. It's fairly long, so you need a longer yarn end, okay? So I'm going to attach my yarn right here to my hook. We'll see if that's the right way. You can also do it the other way. Yep, I'm going to do it the other way because I remembered. You can also make a slip knot first. Hang on, my loop is too small. Let's do it again. There we go. So pull it through like so. Okay, so now you have this attached. Do you see it right there? So it's on the outermost treble crochet stitch on the back, wherever your loopy loop is. Okay, what you're now going to do, and it's fairly easy, you just have to pay attention for a second, so make sure you look at this. You're going to take your yarn end, the long piece right here, that is not your running yarn but your yarn end. You're going to wrap it around your hook. You're going to hold tight on it. Okay, like so. This is how it looks like. You see it wrapped around from front to back. Now yarn over, pull through. Let's do it again. Wrap it from front to back, hold tight, yarn over, pull through. I'm trying to do as slow as I possibly can because I know it's red. So yarn end, this one, you wrap it around your hook. It makes another loop. Do you see that? Yarn over, pull through. So the running yarn is the one that you're pulling through. Wrap the yarn end from front to back, yarn over, pull through, front to back, pull through. So I'm going to speed up here a little bit so you can see how this looks like, right? And that makes a very, very skinny I-cord. Super fast, actually. Super fast I-cord. And for this little tiny backpack, it's perfect. It's literally perfect. Now, how long you want to make it, that's up to you. Depends on your doll. Okay, it can be about, I think I wrote down about 4 inches or so, roughly. So non-stretched, of course. So right here, I'm just going to keep wrapping until I feel like that's about 4 inches. So let's check for a second. How long is this? Because you don't want it to be super duper long. Okay, a little stretch is fine. Oh my gosh. Look at that. I said I would go on to about 4 inches. Do you guys see this? It's on the dot, 4 inches. I said non-stretch, so lay it out. And ta-da, I made 4 inches. Okay, did everyone see this? Okay, this is magic right here. I've never had that happen before. Okay, so what you do now is you pull this out. Okay, you snip your yarn. If it's too long on the other one, just clip it there too. What I like to do is I'm going to pull both of the yarn ends through like this, and it makes a knot right there. Ta-da! So nothing comes undone. Now I will bend it down, which I'm not going to do right now, right? And you just sew it on. For now, I'm going to loosely make a knot. I'll just show you how I do that. Okay, I'm just going to put my yarn needle here on. And what I like to do is I simply, you know, pull it in here. Hang on. Pull it like through one of them. Okay, just one. Pull this and make a knot down here like so. See, first one done. I make double knots though, just to make sure. And then I weave in this yarn end right here. Now I'm going to repeat this on the other side. I'll do this off camera, but that's it. And then you're done with your back straps pretty much. Okay. You just need a button here on the front. So add your button and then you're done with your backpack. And then you can add your little hearts here. You can stuff as much as you want in here. Or you can use it for a tooth fairy. Put the tooth in there and the money. Okay, I'm going to finish this off camera. And we're now going to talk about the bow and arrow. Okay, so I have some of it already done with my loops and thread yarn. So I can show you. Okay, so this is kind of the length I have. I don't know if you can see it. Let's measure it for a second. This is about 7 inches or so. It doesn't have to be exactly 7 inches. I also want to show you that I have this one ready to go over here just because I knew it's going to take a tiny bit of time to dry. Okay, so what I did is I have this number 2 wire, which is a little bit thicker as you can tell, and I added a little bit of hot glue on the back, so now I can touch it because it's cooled down, right? So and why did I do that? Because I don't want to hurt myself, right? We're going to bend this later and we don't want to push it through either. So if you want to make sure it's kind of a nice ball, I feel like this may be not big enough, but this one is a nice ball. As a nice ball, it's nice and rounded. Okay, this one might not be as thick. Do you see that? It's not as thick as this side. So I am thinking I'm going to turn my hot glue on and I'm going to add a little bit more on this side, because what we're going to do, and I can do it already because this side is good, you want to now push this in here. Okay, so by the way, this is literally a magic ring, chain 1, which you don't count, and 5 single crochet stitches, and then you go in rounds until you have the right size. That's it. That's all you're doing on this one. Okay, literally that's it. Now you're going to push this in and see, when you have that ball in there, it's not going to come through. Even though I'm pushing and pushing, it stays inside and doesn't come through. Okay, so that can really help. Can I use a pipe cleaner? If you can get a pipe cleaner in there, go for it. Just make sure that it doesn't come through. Still add some kind of hot glue here in the back. Please, please add some hot glue, even if you use a pipe cleaner, because you're going to have issues. It's coming through your little yarn holes. If you're not doing that, the wire of a pipe cleaner is too thin. It'll push right through. You're going to need some kind of ball here in the back to hold everything nicely in place. So please do that anyways, okay? Let's see, is mine on? Yeah, so let me check here. I'm going to use a little bit more. Let's see if it's warm enough. It's just enough that I can make it happen. I want a little bit more of a ball over here. Okay, a little bit more. There we go. So now I just have to wait for it to dry here a little bit. There we go. It wasn't super hot, so I can touch it, okay? You're now going to take your yarn end here. So once you're done with it, you push that in. And what you're going to do is you're going to weave this through the front loops. So tuck this in nicely, okay? Make sure it doesn't get stuck on your yarn. There we go. And you're going to take your yarn needle, add it to your yarn. Are we good on making this? I want to make sure everyone is good on this. It's literally a magic ring. and 5 single crochets, and you keep going around. So you're not increasing, you're not decreasing, nothing. Okay, you're just making this tube, and then you're putting that inside. So now we're just going to close up this side by going through the front loop. So that should be 5 of them because we're not doing any increases or decreases, right? Going through the front loops right here. Then you're going to pull and close it up. You see that? It's closed up. So make sure if you see anything poking through that you're going to weave around it and close up that area so nothing will poke through, because we want to make sure everything is nice and clean. So whatever makes that happen, we don't want the ball to come through. So that happens on this side more likely than the other side, because usually wherever the magic ring is, it's tighter. So here you may have to do a little bit more weaving until you're happy with how it looks and it's all nice and secured. But it kind of helps by weaving back and forth because you're also securing your yarn, right? So you don't have to worry about that part. So what I like to do in the end, when I'm done with it, I just push my yarn right through into my tube and come out somewhere. And then I snip it. And then we're good. Okay. Now it's about turning this into a bow. So that's usually a little bit of a harder one. So you're going to need some kind of pliers. Now, if you have thinner wire like pipe cleaner or something, it should be easier to do. So this one, I'm just going to bend over here first. So kind of evenly, I'm going to bend this kind of like this. And now I need to bend this around. So I'm first going to do it with my fingers as much as I can. And then I'm going to take my pliers and I'm really going to bend this around. So make sure you grab your wire inside and bend it into this kind of shape right there. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we want kind of a replication on the other side. So remember not to pull on your crochet. You want to actually touch the wire on the inside. Remember, the yarn is moving around. Okay, so really hold tight on the wire on the inside and bend it around until you're happy and you can't go further with your finger. And then you're going to take your wire and really bend it. So bend it into this little rounded, let's call it a snail shape, right? The spiral, right? Try to see if you can make it even. Mine is kind of even, right? You guys tell me, is it even? Okay. And then you're going to bend this a little further. You can push this in a little bit if you want it to be, and shape it however you want your bow to be, right? It's just somehow that it's even. Remember, your yarn moves around a little bit there. So I think this is pretty good. What do you guys think? Is that good? I feel like one side is a little bit bigger than the other. I feel like this is bigger than that one. So what I might have to do is twist this a tiny bit further. So use your pliers to make that happen. Let's see, a little bit further. There we go. I think now it's even. Yeah, that looks more even, right? Okay, and there we go. That's your bow. So all you have to do now is take some, let's say, white yarn, whatever you have. I like to use here my number 2 yarn. Just have to find my yarn end for that. Where is my yarn end? If I can find it. There it is. I found it. Okay, I'm going to snip it. Snip. Okay, how long you want it to be, it's up to you. I mean, you don't want it to be super long, but just enough that it works. Okay, are we good? Yes, a cinnamon bun or Princess Leia hair. Yes, yes. Okay, it looks like a drawer handle. That's right. That can be a drawer handle too. Yes, turn yours into crochet versions. Yay! Now, whatever side you feel like is prettier, that's going to be your outside. Whatever side is not as pretty, I feel like this one, that's where it's going to be the inside part. So here's where I'm going to push my yarn through. Okay, actually I'm going to go from this direction, excuse me. Whatever is the not so pretty side, push it through and push it back on a different spot, right? So that way you can make a knot. So make sure it's not visible on the other side. Okay, and then here's where I'm going to make a knot, because you want to hold this in place, right? Make a knot. You can weave in that white yarn later, the yarn end. So like so. Okay, and now you're going to put this here on the other side and do exactly the same thing. Okay, so you push it through like so. So you want some tension there, right? And then you push it back on the other side in a different spot, like through. Did I do it? Nope. I did not. So let's do that again. I did not push in a different position. So I'm going to do that one more time. Hopefully this time it's a different position. I think it is. Yep, this time it is, right? So you can see that I have some tension right there. See that? Ta-da! You can like play like a harp or something. And then I'm going to add my knot. And obviously you're going to weave it in the end, right? So here's my knot. I'm going to weave this in later. Okay, I'm just going to let it hang for now. But that's how it looks like. So I'm weaving it through here. You know what? I'm just going to do it right now. I want it to look pretty. At least one of it I want it to look pretty. Okay, I'm going to make another knot though, because otherwise it gets too loose. Double knot is always better. There we go. And now I'm going to weave this through here. There we go. Weave this through. And then we're good on the bow. So all we have to do now is the arrow. So let me push this through. Ooh, this yarn end is very tiny. So I might have to push this through first. And then, have you ever done this? When the yarn is too tiny, always make long yarn ends. Then push the needle in first and then push your yarn through. It makes it a little bit harder, but it still works like so. And now it's in there. Ta-da! We need music. Okay, snippity snip. I did it. Move this to the side, and there's our bow. And you can bend this here a little bit if you want a little bit more of a actual bow shape, right? So sometimes you can push this in the center part of it a little bit, put this over. I like this just a hint loose because I'm going to use it later to wrap my bow around it. But this is how it looks like, okay? You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, okay? So we're done with this part. So we have only one more thing to do, which is the arrow. So let's do that together. Okay, I need to move my stuff so I can see. Hang on. Okay, here's the arrow instructions. So first, we're going to put this to the side. We're going to crochet here something first, okay? We're going to make a chain, a magic ring, and you're going to add a chain of 4. So let's do that first. So chain of 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to slip stitch in the in the second and third stitch. So make a slip stitch, 1 and 2, and the last one here you can make a slip stitch or single crochet. I'm just going to make a single crochet right here. It makes it a little bit more pointy on one end, right? And you're going to slip stitch into the magic ring without splitting your yarn like I just did. There we go. And now let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, you could do this again so you have like 3 hanging off in the back. It's totally fine. I'm going to make 2. So right here, slip stitch in a second and in the third chain that I just made, and a single crochet in the last, and then again slip stitch into the magic ring like so. So if you want 3 in the back here, then do it one more time. Okay, now we want to pull this out and close our magic ring. So let's close the magic ring first like so. Put this through so that we can pull here and everything is nice and tight. Okay, so you want it to be nice and tight. So this is how it looks like. You see that little piece there? That's going to be in the back of your arrow. Again, if you want 3 in the back, have 3 in the back. It doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm going to make a knot here just to make sure things don't fall apart like so. It doesn't have to be a double knot, just one is fine. Okay, so now you're going to need, whoopsie, I almost threw it away. You need this piece here. It's a little bit shorter piece. I might have it a little bit long. Is this too long? No, actually this may work in my favor. Okay, so I'm going to leave this like this. So this is roughly, let's see how long this is. This is about 4 inches. going to want it a little bit smaller maybe. I'm going to make it a teeny bit smaller. Let's see. Okay, that's going to fly away here because this is very hard to cut. Whoa! Okay, that flew away. So it's just a tiny bit small, so it's about 4 inches roughly, okay? So what you want to do now is you want to glue whatever's the back side of it, you want to glue it on just a little tiny dollop. So what I like to do is add it right to my ball here, right to the end of it. Just enough. You don't want too much, just something. And add it here in the back. And hold it down until it's dry, okay? Like so. You don't want too much because you want to wrap some yarn around it. So this yarn end is going to be wrapped around it later. I'm not doing that right now because I want to dry it first, okay? So let it dry until it's done. It's going to take a second. Okay, how you guys all doing? You could make a wig, a bigger wig, and use it for Halloween. Oh, I want to see that. Who's going to do that? That's going to take forever, but I want to see that. If someone is doing it, whoa, you have patience. It takes so much more sense. It makes so much more sense watching you make the bow live. I am so glad, Maxine. That makes me super happy. Okay, is this dry now? I think this is dry now. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this here first. I think, and the other one I didn't do it first. I did it last, but I feel like it's better to do it first. Okay, so what I like to do is kind of go back and forth here. And kind of what the idea is to cover up that green part. Okay, so you go in and out of your crochet and you make loops. So the same way as you would if you do it for the heart, the baby hearts, right? You can also make these loops around it like so. You see how it's kind of trying to cover it up? So that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to go back and forth into it. So pretty much where the magic ring was. And I'm going to cover up the green as much as I can. So I think one more time should be good here. Okay, go over this. There we go. So now that's kind of covered up. Okay, so like this. So you can't really see from far away which one is the back side. So what you're now going to do is you're going to hold this in place as much as you can. I'm going to do this with this side. And now you're going to wrap this around it. See, that way you don't have to weave in this end here. And I'm going to wrap this. Like so. Just wrap it around like tightly. Okay? But evenly. Tight and even. Okay? Tight and even. As much as you can. Well, this area wasn't super even, but it's okay. You know what? I'm going to pull this out because I don't like it. It's not very even on that one spot right there. Because I went over twice. There we go. Let's redo this part. There, that looks better. Sometimes you have to redo it. It's okay. So hold tight on that yarn end and go as far as you want to hold it. At some point you can snip it. If you feel like, you know what, I'm done holding this. It's wrapped around enough. Then you're fine. Okay, so push this up here a little bit as much as you can. If there's a little bit of green showing, just push it up. And then keep wrapping until the end. And then we're going to use glue, hot glue, on the other side to pretty much hold it tight, you know what I mean, like position it so it doesn't come undone. You can also do it like this. Oh, look at that. That works too. See that? Just holding it like this, and it wraps it also. Ooh, this is a little bit easier. At least on my right hand it is. My left hand's a little bit harder. But it's even. Look how nice and even that is. Ooh, this is a good one. I like this. Just keep wrapping. Keep wrapping. Don't let go because it'll unravel. Okay, when you're like at this position, this is when you want to add a little bit of glue. Just a little bit. Ooh, that was too much. So much too little. Haha. Okay, and now you're going to wrap over it. Wrap over it. Because that will hold it in place. Wrap over. It's going to be hard at the very end, but do your best. It's okay if there's a little bit of a ball there. Okay, I'm going to snip this right here. And I'm going to, it's not super hot anymore, so I'm going to try to make sure it stays how it needs to stay. A little bit of a ball you want. Oh, look at this. It looks like a little tiny hair there. That's adorable. Let's snip that part off. Okay. So obviously don't burn yourself. Only touch it when you feel like, okay, we're good. See? And now it's pretty nice like this. Okay, so now you have a choice. Do you want to add your heart in a way that you can take it in and out, or do you want to have it permanent? Okay, so where it's permanently attached. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to do one of them where it's permanently attached. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to lay it down. Make sure the back side is the back side. So for me, this is the back side where I see a tiny bit of green. Okay, I'm going to make a knot over here with this. Are we still good? I want to make sure I'm explaining everything well. Okay, I'm making a knot over here like so. I'm going to do a double knot. You can wrap this around too. Okay, for now, I'm just going to have this side not look as pretty, because what I'm going to do is I can add another heart right on top later and sew the outside on it. That makes sense? So you can't see that part, okay? So you can do that. So that once you have two hearts pretty much, right? So here, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bend this here for a second, add a little bit of glue right here, just a little, and place it down and let it dry. So as I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have another heart and I'll put it on top here. So you can do that. Or you do how I did it in the original one. I added some loops around it so I can push it in and out. Okay, so now that's done. Okay, I'm going to snip this because, as I said, I'm going to make another heart later and add that right on top. So I don't need to have this woven in. And it's going to look like this. There's your arrow. So what I like to do is I like to wrap this piece of it around the arrow like this. I have to maybe make it a little loose so you can position it properly like this, right? And it stays in place. Look at that! How cool is this? You can move it around however you want it to be. Now what you can also do is you can sew on the arrow right here, like you make it around it. So you take some of this darker goldish yarn and weave it around here to hold this really in place, unless you want it to come off. That's fine. I'm going to leave this one for now. On the original one, you can see it. I sewed it on to make sure it doesn't come undone. Are we good on this? Are there any questions about the bow and arrow, the backpack, or the tiny hearts? I want to really quickly cover the wings, okay? I'm going to sew them on for you so you can see how they look. So first of all, this is how they look like, okay? They are hardened, but they're still moving. There's just enough glue in there that they stand up, okay? It's kind of like they feel harder, for sure. You can feel the glue. It's hardened, right? So what I like to do is I like to sew it on like this. Let me zoom out just a tad. Just a tad. Whee! Okay, so I like to sew it on like this so that it's right on here. But I've seen some of you guys like to do it like this. That's okay too. Okay, that looks more like it's flying. This one looks like your Cupid is standing and the bow, you know, the wings are standing up. Okay, so I'm gonna just sew on here one of them real quick. Let's see, I'm gonna take this one and sew it on. So one of them I sew right onto the toga. The other one I sew onto the body pretty much. So that's the idea of that. Okay, so right here, position it however you want it to be. For me, I want it to be right next to the hair. That's where I want it to be. And now I'm just going to sew it on. So remember, we had one yarn end that was a little bit longer. So that's what you're going to use to sew it on. You pretty much just go back and forth. This is the same way how I would sew on the hair. Just go in and out. I did it like around here. So I kind of went in between, by the way. Between the first and the second row of curls, and I went in and out, in and out, in and out, all the way around and sewed it on. That's what I did on that one. So that way you can't really see it. So right here, I'm gonna sew this back and forth until I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna do here one more time and see how we're looking. Okay, is it standing up? Yep, standing up. Okay, so that means I can make a knot here and then weave in my end. I'm just gonna weave it over here for now. There we go, this way and this way, and then we're good on that part. Snip, right? And then you would do the exact same thing on the other side, right? So right here, I would sew it on evenly on this side. That way there's a gap in between, and that gap is going to be filled with the backpack, right? That's where the backpack is going to be hanging. Is that making sense? So that's what I did. And then obviously on the back side of it, or the front side, excuse me, what you can do is you can take your bow and arrow, right? And you can kind of push it through the belt like this if you wanted to, right? I usually do it on the other side. You can see it on this side, right? I usually do it on the other part of it. So I would have to take this out. Hang on, I'll show you. Okay. And I push this through here, this through here, and then I wrap this around here, and then the belt kind of holds it in place, like so. See that? So there's my bow and arrow on this little one. So you can see that this one is a little bit smaller than the original one because I wanted to be a little bit smaller, but you can make it bigger if you like. Okay, I showed you how to make it bigger. I showed you how to make it smaller. You make this as long as you like. Mine, this one is a little bit smaller. I think that looks perfect on this guy. So all I need to do finish is add the wings and finish my little tiny backpack. And that's it. How are we doing? Thanks for showing us how to sew on the wings. You're welcome. You're genius. You're a genius too, because you guys are here and doing the exact same thing as I am. I'm so excited that you guys were part of it. How cute is this one? I love this one. It's adorable. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm going to finish mine and I'm going to show it off during the party tomorrow. Make sure you use the hashtag right here. Okay. So LiveCal January 2025. So LiveCal JAN for January, and then 25 for the year, right? So that way you can show it off. I put it over there too, so you can remember. Let's finish our Cupid. I am so excited for y'all that you came here. You were part of the entire thing. You watched a replay a few times. If you needed it, it is here to stay. So don't worry if you want to go back later. I am so excited for the big party tomorrow. Will you please tell your crochet besties to come? Please tell them, because we're going to talk about how you can take your crochet skills to the next level. We're going to talk about how you can make or be part of these live crochet alongs more often than you might think you can. Okay, like having them all the time, having support, having a community. We're going to talk about that. And of course, prizes, prizes, prizes. We're going to have a lot of prizes. I am so giddy about tomorrow and the next following days. We're going to have live crochet alongs from Sunday through Wednesday. So there's going to be more to come. You're going to make cute little animals and stuff. Oh, I'm so excited. Tomorrow it's going to be 12 o'clock Pacific time. The live is already scheduled on my YouTube. So I will send out an email for those who signed up, of course. And that way you know exactly when it starts. Same time as today in the last few days, just a different link. So you'll get a link for the party. No worries. I am so excited. Can you tell I'm excited? I'm so excited because I have a big surprise for you. I have something brand new. I haven't shown off anywhere yet. So I hope you'll be there. Will you be there? Be sure to tell your crochet besties. Now go finish up your Cupid and submit your final pictures by 10 a.m. by tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Tomorrow is the 1st of February. The 1st of February. January was so long. Anyways, 1st of February by 10 a.m. Pacific time. Submit your Cupid pictures, whatever you consider finished Cupid. If you don't want to do the backpack, you don't want to do the halo, that's okay. You decide what is finished for your Cupid. I don't want to see yarn ends coming out. That's not finished. Whatever your finished Cupid is, use the hashtag, post your final images to the group, Crocheting with Nikki, so you qualify for the giveaway. And then we have more prizes to give away for those who don't finish or were never part of the live crochet along, which is fine. Okay. I really want everyone to be there. All crocheters are invited. So come join us all. We're going to have fun. I'll see you guys then. Until then, bye.